Are you in? Like, is that you now watching?
I watched the full thing. I felt guilty every time, but I kept coming back for more.
It's really nice chatting to the both of you. The Bikeriders is such a beautiful film. So relatable in a way that I too will always chase a red flag around. I thought the film was really about wanting the sense of community and people wanting something where they can just have an outlet just for fun. So I wanted to ask the both of you, what is it that you do just for fun?
What do I do for fun? Now I feel miserable.
What is fun? You know, something that I started doing a few years ago, well, that I picked back up and I realized it was just for fun, was painting.
That's nice.
Where, yeah, just the feeling of it not being about any result.
Yeah.
Pottery.
I feel like a good dance in the kitchen whilst cooking.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Is a
What
good
song?
for fun. Ooh.
What song can you I
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
I'm asking hard-hitting questions.
I know,
here.
like, come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would say that.
Dancing in the kitchen, solid. I can relate to that. I would love to paint. I'm just not artistic.
What do you do for fun?
I just like to sometimes just be in silence.
Silence.
I think like people, the act of just being and sitting is, sometimes people think it's kind of weird, but sometimes you don't get a lot of quiet moments.
Yeah. Well, also some people struggle to just sit and be.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think as I practiced
Do you call it meditation?
Some people call it meditation. I just call it
just sitting
my
still.
time. Just sitting still. So Austin, I've touched on how you're a red flag in this film. Obviously you're not in real life, but in this film you are a red flag. And Kathy is chasing after you because you're her guilty pleasure, I would say. So we all have guilty pleasures. I have many. What would you say are your guilty pleasures in life?
Got a lot of pleasure. I don't know I'm guilty about it, but yeah, what's a guilty pleasure of yours?
I put used matchsticks back in the matchsticks box, and I didn't realize how psychotic that was.
So then,
and
they're
now
just
actually
mixed in
not.
with the other ones.
Yeah.
So then you will pull one. Do you ever pull one out that's already?
Yeah,
been
and I'm
used?
like, oh, but it's just part. It's like part of the.
Yeah,
it's
and
part of the
you
thing.
then stick it back in.
I just put it back. No, so then I put it in the bin.
I feel that can be quite dangerous.
Can it?
Unless are you
true,
waiting for it to fully burn out before you put it in? Because what if you just then ignited the whole rest of the box?
That's
we
true.
can
Well,
stick
maybe
it
now
in
I'm not
hot,
going to do
you
that.
know?
Someone pointed it out to me recently, and I was like, oh, and then I felt a bit guilty about it.
Wow, I like that.
But I mean, an
an
obvious one
unusual
is
trait.
reality television. Some sort of housewives of an area.
Of Cheshire.
I haven't seen the Cheshire one.
Oh, you have to go back and
But
watch the Cheshire.
Real Housewives of Cheshire.
Like that was a glorious time. Like
Oh, you know, like, have you seen that show Couples Therapy?
No,
yeah.
That's a good one.
I did Love Is Blind recently.
Okay.
That's a good guilty pleasure.
That was crazy.
Are you in? Like, is that you now watching?
I watched the full thing. Yeah, I felt guilty every time, but I kept coming back for more.
You should just maybe host the next reunion.
Listen, if it all fails, Austin.
Yeah. Or maybe if everything goes right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Perspective.
Yeah.
So Jodie, you're known as like the queen of accents. It's amazing to me how you can flip from film to film, and especially with this one, you have a very specific accent. What was your process of learning this one in particular?
Yeah, she had like quite a specific voice, but I was very, very lucky that I had like 30 minutes of audio of her. So it was just about like spending time with that audio and working with a brilliant dialect coach who helps you and makes you look way better than what you are, you know? So yeah, it was just about prepping that really to then get to set and hopefully be able to think about it a little less.
But she's identical to the recording. That's what's so amazing. I couldn't tell the difference. It was stunning.
And you just like replay that and then just say it back.
Oh yeah,
over
you
and
just
over
live with
again.
it. It's like, you know, when you play your favorite song so much that you then
Yeah.
you're like, oh
Did
god,
you
I think I might have
certain times
killed
of the
this
day
song.
that you would listen to it the most? Like, did you listen to it before bed or first thing in the morning?
I think morning was a big one. I find learning lines before bed is
that's
great
the best
though.
time.
Yeah.
'Cause then it's-
Spoken like true lazy actors, everybody. I like to read my lines the night before. No, but there's definitely something where it soaks into your memory, I
your
feel.
subconscious.
It's like playing in your dreams and then
Yeah.
it's in the subconscious.
And then you have like the anxiety dreams about forgetting your lines,
Oh my
and
God, I
it's
have that all the
like it's never ending.
You both had the benefit of having maybe the 60s or even an older periodic time. What is your favorite time or decade to play in terms of the style of clothing, even the way that people speak? What is your preferred time?
I mean, I have to say 60s was pretty cool. Especially these types of people, you know, who were kind of living in Chicago within the subculture, who just felt very kind of rebellious and free. And again, to speak to, you know, Danny Lyon and his photographs is like they were so authentic and there was so much to pull from. You know, you think of the 60s, you think of the music, you think of the clothing, like everything was so brilliant and transformative. I feel like when you're doing that kind of period, you're like, oh, okay, you know, it helps you kind of step into the world.
Yeah, it really does.
Swinging 60s.
The swinging 60s, that's what they call them.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah.
No, I think the same. You know, all these motorcycles of the 60s it was such an amazing period where you're coming out of, because you have World War II and then you come out of that and then you've got the 50s, which are this sort of, the idea of this idyllic time where you have white picket fences and, you know, but I think below that idea of this perfect world was a lot of awful trauma and wild things, and then so you have the 60s that suddenly are trying to break that, you know, and it's the pendulum starts swinging in this opposite direction, and then it has its own chaos at that time. But as far as the clothing and the music and the bikes and the, you know, the cars and stuff, I think that's a very complex time, and it's cool,
It's
you know,
cool.
and the aesthetic, I guess.
Yeah. But we all want to be cool.
Yeah.
You'll get to be cool for the day.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least for a period of time.
Yeah, in the movie.
You just
that's
pretend
it.
to be cool.
Yeah, just pretend to be cool. But thanks so much for
Thank
chatting to me. This
you.
was
That's
really
it.
great. We only had a short time, but this is lovely.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.